Donkey Kong Bananza was announced during the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct that aired on April 2nd, 2025, a few months after the system's trailer shadow dropped. That showcase revealed so much about the console, so many games were teased or announced. The Direct delivered an in-depth look at Mario Kart, new Tears of the Kingdom and Zelda Breath of the Wild enhancements, hints at Kirby Air Riders, Metroid Prime 4, yet the final reveal was the most magical. After 11 years in limbo, Donkey Kong would finally return in some form.
Donkey Kong. Doesn't look Mario, it kind of looks like Donkey Kong, I don't know.
For the first time since Tropical Freeze, DK would have a new game, and after his appearance on the N64, he would now return to the third dimension. Bananza had a lot to live up to. This was obviously the 3D Mario team's newest project after Bowser's Fury, and it would have to hold up the Switch 2's launch quarter if Mario Kart World didn't hit. Bananza had all the expectations of a new Donkey Kong game, along with everyone's individual wants for this series' revival. I never had any worries about the title, maybe one about the price tag, but deep down I knew Bananza would be a good game. Donkey Kong looks good, but not exactly $70 good, or for me, $90. What relieved others was the Donkey Kong Bananza Direct.
Naked.
This aired a few weeks before launch and revealed some pretty big things.
Yes! Let's go!
Some people may not understand how long DK fans have waited for a brand new title. Excluding 2 remasters, a remake, and a DLC for Ubisoft's Mario plus Rabbids, Donkey Kong was a character seemingly forgotten about. This wasn't a joke either. Aside from his appearance in the Mario movie, zero new DK content came out for an entire decade. As the Switch generation progressed, and IP like Kirby moved to 3D and Zelda continued to steamroll, it almost seemed as if Donkey Kong would be ignored forever. With the context provided through Bananza's full release, that couldn't be further from the truth. At its core, Donkey Kong Bananza is a heartfelt homage to all of DK's classic adventures, seamlessly weaving references into the game from Rareware's Country series, the Retro Studios releases, DK64, and the arcade games. Bananza was a labor of love, from a team who clearly adored the character. I've enjoyed playing as Donkey Kong in various games over decades. My first DK game was the 3DS port of DKC Returns, a game whose remaster I reviewed earlier this year. Ever since I played that game, I've liked Donkey Kong. Of course, I liked him before, he was a part of the Mario extended universe of my childhood, but with Retro's duology of country games, Donkey Kong was elevated, which is why his absence during the Switch generation felt like such an inexplicably profound loss. Every year, fans would either hope or predict for a new Donkey Kong game on the Switch.
Rise of the Kremlings will be slated for sometime in 2023.
Each year would close with nothing new announced. At least now, on new hardware, we have easily one of the best games of this entire decade and a show-stopping console seller. Donkey Kong Bananza is the most fun I've had playing a Nintendo game in ages. I've adored this game as much as, if not more, than Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. There's so many similarities between the two games, and maybe even a couple references for the latter in Bananza. I truly believe that Bananza is a masterpiece, and will go down as one of the best games on the Switch 2. Who knows how well this generation will shape up to be? So far, not so good. And it may never live up to the first Switch, but Bananza, being this great, so early on, has given me countless things to look forward to in Nintendo's future. Donkey Kong Bananza is the first real Nintendo-published single-player game on the Switch 2. While development began on the original Switch, this is a game whose existence is heavily reliant on the newest Nintendo platform. Bananza probably doesn't exist without the Switch 2. It is a next-gen experience through and through, from start to finish, and it's great from beginning to end. Everything in the game is in the player's hands. Bananza has the most freedom of any Nintendo game ever. It perfectly executes upon the philosophy of modern Zelda games, while being a near-perfect Donkey Kong experience. Anything is possible in Bananza, and that is largely why the game is good.
Okay!
As a game, Donkey Kong Bananza is very impressive. The level of destruction is nearly unmatched when compared to the current industry standard. The amount of player control and stylization of the platforming is also commendable. Bananza, at its heart, is a gameplay-focused experience. Most people are playing it for the gameplay, and not so much for the story. While enjoyable, with some great fan service, the story is at the end of the day in service to the gameplay, meaning in service to Donkey Kong. Controlling him is easy, he has multiple powered forms and many ways to destroy the world's lairs. For a game that is so heavily destruction-based, you likely won't get bored during a first playthrough because the systems are always improving through a skill tree or new gimmicks in the level design. This is a Donkey Kong game. While hints of Mario's design remain, Nintendo EPD Tokyo has done a great job at making a modern DK release. Unlike 3D Mario, where new worlds are gated off by stars or in Oddysey's case, power moons, Bananzas are gated off by progression. So collecting the game's many collectible items have their own purpose, unrelated to the game's story. It's a really inventive way to get around reducing the number of collectibles. Pretty much everyone agreed Mario Odyssey had too many power moons. Bananza has 777 Banandium gems to break and then collect. A large number, though not a big deal when those gems have a use in gameplay. Donkey Kong Bananza has an RPG-inspired skill tree. Do too many games have these? Yes. But Bananza's is really interesting. 5 Banandium gems convert to 1 skill point, and each skill point can be used to unlock moderately impactful abilities, from more revives and new movement options, to transformation upgrades or higher damage. Because the player is getting new Banandium gems in levels or from bosses, they're always slowly improving DK. They then get new transformations called Bananzas. Those can be improved once again through collecting Banandium gems and expanding the skill tree. See how the game flows? There is a reason to go for completion, a very important one at that. Banandium gems can be attained in many ways. Collecting special coins allows them to be purchased. Gold spawns through Smash Terrain and can be spent with those coins to buy unlimited numbers of gems. They can be found in levels, as reward for a challenging section, after beating a boss, at the end of a level, or below DK's feet. They are literally everywhere, and almost unending due to the ease of finding them early on, which makes improving DK easy and satisfying with how frequently it can be done. Other ways of making gameplay more rewarding come from Bananza transformations. Each open the game up more, from a superpowered Kong form that can destroy anything, a zebra one allowing DK to sprint at incredible speed, an ostrich to fly and drop egg bombs, or an elephant to suck up lava and other obstacles. There's even a snake one to jump higher. Bananza's consistently improved the game, while increasing the skill ceiling of gameplay. By combining the effects of each transformation, the player gains an even deeper level of control. Couple that with Pauline's different outfits that can be purchased with rare fossils to increase the time transformed, and the whole game could theoretically be played entirely this way. No matter what, everything in Bananza is in service to making the game more fun, and at that it excels. 3D Mario is at its best when there's an untouchable level of player freedom. Think about all the ways one can get through Mario Odyssey, or all the different speedrunning methods to master in Mario 64. Now take that idea of giving the player the ability to have near unlimited freedom over the game's systems and actually give them unlimited control. They can destroy the level if they choose, which they will. They will avoid speaking to NPCs, skip entire sections of platforming, avoid boss fights, and more with an unlimited number of possibilities. Don't want a platform to the next area? Build a bridge instead. Bored of walking in a straight line? Smash through the ground. Go left, right, up, down, whatever, make your own path. Not since Tears of the Kingdom has a Nintendo game been so engrossing. Bananza lets the player make their own level. By destroying entire chunks of the world, they're creating a challenge to progress through on the next teleport. Every player's interaction with Bananza's systems will be different. No one person will destroy the floor the same way, skip through an area exactly alike, focused on whatever they focused on. Everyone's experience is unique, and that's when I realized this game was a masterpiece. No one played Bananza like I did, no one ever will, and I will never play it the same way I did at first, let alone the same way someone else did. After hours of playing, you'll be in a flow state, at one with Donkey Kong. You may even want to destroy the ground like he did, provided your Switch 2 battery doesn't die while playing. Bananza can be the most fun, addictive, enjoyable, and maybe the best Nintendo game in years. This is coming from someone who realistically has at least liked basically everything they've put out. Bananza is somehow leagues better than all of them though. Everybody loves the classic Rareware Donkey Kong games. They were some of the best possible ways of moving an older arcade mascot to a different genre. Rare's DK peaked so early with the country games. All three are incredible classics that continue to be cherished today, while the ball may have been dropped with DK64. So many of the cornerstones of Donkey Kong from those releases were executed properly in Bananza. Rare's Donkey Kong design was timeless, and Bananza's could be in the future. But aside from character design, Donkey Kong Bananza flawlessly succeeds this series' past, while having ties to those releases. This game doesn't feel like a reboot for a younger audience that abandoned its older one. Instead, Nintendo EPD8's return to Donkey Kong excels. There are constant references to older DK games, and a relatively rare acknowledgement of the famed DK rap. Bananza positively added to the series lore while clearly breaking canon. Does this matter? Of course not, because the experience was so great. Bananza breaks the series timeline, but does so in a way that benefits it, through the inclusion of new characters into a world that long needed them. Retro Studios made some amazing Donkey Kong games, though they never created enemies as interesting as the Kremlings. Now we have a slew of brand new antagonists with their own histories. Voidco may not be the Kremling crew, but Grumpy, Poppy, and Void Kong are each more captivating than any member of the Tiki Tak tribe ever was. Donkey Kong himself was similarly improved. As a character, he's never been so laid back. He visually has more character due to the power of the Switch 2. All sorts of animations ooze personality, from walking in scorching heat to freezing in the cold. The hardware allows DK to fully showcase his personality through facial expressions. While many of Donkey Kong's edges were sanded down, currently Donkey Kong is a big goofy ape who wants more bananas, continuing a slow yet consistent change to his character over the last decade or two. In Bananza, the player will be tasked with finding countless bananas, giving an excuse to make DK more chilled out. It also gives the developers at Nintendo the opportunity to flex their muscles, giving them the chance to show off how detailed their game design can be. That game design is then reflected in what the player can do, meaning how much control over DK they have. Every layer in Bananza can be demolished, though reset after a while. The result of clearing out entire areas is the ability to make your own journey, creating a new level, different on each playthrough. The goal is always to get to point A through B, and pick up Banandium gems during the route, but detouring from the simple goal is so much fun to do. Because everything in the environment can be destroyed at will, there's so many ways to get to point A. The layers are small, with the freedom given to the player, they feel bigger. Because they are. There isn't just the overworld and a couple caves to explore. Donkey Kong can smash all the way through to unbreakable metal. Bananza has a Minecraft-like quality, in that so much is in the player's control. I played Bananza by digging tunnels, grabbing gold, and hunting down Banandium gems. Not everyone has to, yet we all reached the biggest ending Nintendo's made in years. That's the real magic of Donkey Kong Bananza, and it's where the game shined. Personally, I didn't play much of DK Artist. It's yet another way for Nintendo to flex their game design and creative tools. It's not for me though. If you're creative or interested in modeling, this is a great little mode to have. Like many Nintendo games, Bananza has frame rate problems. Luckily, the visuals are smooth and overall nice to look at. The art style is beautiful, colors truly pop, and each area is so pretty visually, it can take away from the infrequent pop-in. The aesthetics of Bananza are truly amazing, and I love how well they fit into Donkey Kong's usual style. The game uses FSR for upscaling, which is nice to have. Without it, Bananza would almost certainly have trouble maintaining any frame rate, and would struggle to hit the expected resolution of 1080/1200p while docked. I played handheld as always, and the game ran quite well on there. On most occasions, seemingly sticking to 1080p and 60 FPS. The biggest issue by a long shot is the frame rate. Generally, it is stable, but in certain specific and replicable instances, it begins to chug. Those being during a few of the bonus rooms. They have lots of mayhem and destruction effects going off all at once, so it's annoying though slightly understandable. Times when frame rate notably struggle also were during boss fights. Those once again contain loads of destruction. It's honestly a shame that the game has any frame rate problems, because by all means this is a console pusher, and it runs incredibly well during most parts of the gameplay. I love what Nintendo made with Donkey Kong Bananza, and even I have to admit that the performance can at times be really bad, though it doesn't happen all too often for the average player.
He's so pushy.
This is me in post here. It's been a while since I wrote this video, but in the time since was the DK Island plus Emerald Rush DLC, an underbaked yet fun experience. This to me is the most mindless Bananza can be, and I managed to enjoy it. The gameplay of Bananza is fun, and honestly anything to justify more is cool to me. At $20, it's a fine value if you like the idea of the roguelike mode, but otherwise wait for a sale, or even more likely an Ultimate Edition later down the line, like Nintendo did with Breath of the Wild in Japan and Pokemon Scarlet and Violet everywhere else. Emerald Rush can be extremely fun to play. It's going to be an acquired taste. I personally think it's great, and I think I got my value out of it, but that may not be your consensus. DK Island is similarly fine, nothing special, but it is a must-play experience for longtime DK fans. The way it meshes together references to all the eras of DK is nice, if annoying due to the lack of any substantial content on the island aside from Emerald Rush. There's no bananas, and worse, there's no fossils, so no new outfits excluding the ones unlocked through Emerald Rush. Still, the game is fun, and an okay piece of endgame content for a game that didn't really need it. This has been a mixed bag, and certainly a little obnoxious given Nintendo's recent pricing decisions. Bananza isn't a $90 game, but it kinda also is, and that's weird. It's a fun $90, and if you don't buy the tacked on DLC, it's an amazing $70 game. I'm gonna be brutally honest here. I love Donkey Kong Bananza. I was looking forward to playing through, and after finishing it, I couldn't have been happier. This is the type of game I personally want more of on the Nintendo Switch too. Incredible single-player experiences only Nintendo can pull off. Bananza is an amazing game. It's probably my game of the year of the releases from this year that I've played. It is so nice to have Donkey Kong back, and it's safe to say better than ever. From all the fan service, to the jaw-dropping ending, brand new characters, and some of the most impressive gameplay in a Nintendo release ever, Bananza is quite good, but most importantly, and above all else, some of the most fun you can have playing any video game to date. Donkey Kong Bananza is a masterpiece and a true next-gen experience. I don't know if I would recommend buying a Switch 2 for it, but if you like what you see, you'll probably enjoy getting this. I tried making this video similar to my Xenoblade Chronicles X one. Who knows if these type of videos will be more common for me or if this will be a series going forward, but I thought Bananza was good enough to make a video in a similar vein. Both are games I really loved playing, but have you played DK Bananza or any Donkey Kong games? Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, it would greatly help if you left a like, commented anything, and subscribed so I can someday pay my bills without an actual job. Click the videos on screen now and hope you have a great day.